Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode we began construction and got a lot further on than I thought we would, considering the time that we spent on it. We have a perimeter wall around the outside of the facility with obviously a door to make sure it is actually technically secure. We have our sort of main body of the admin centre, so all of the offices, followed by the power block and water pump area, followed by a bit of storage as well, and then finally up the top we have what is the beginnings of a cell block, the first cell block of many, hopefully. Well, probably 1, 2, 3, 4 in total, I would guess. But we may be able to plus or minus 1, because we might rotate them and all that sort of thing. And then we have a shower as well. And then we started building the canteen, which I wasn't entirely sure where we were going to place the entrance, but I think where it is there would probably be acceptable. So what I'm going to do is go over to our jail door, large jail door, and then place it there. And then we will crack on with that building, and then we'll plan it off, and then we'll put all the internals in but a moment. As you can see, we have a total amount of money equal to 47,000 generic units of currency. It does say we are going to get 5 grand a day. I don't think that is true. In fact, I know that's not true. That is counting in a lot of the exports from the wood and such, so that's going to die down quite rapidly there. We also have a total of 8 capacity for the prisoners, although we really are not bothered about that at this stage. What we're really bothered about at the moment is getting the main wall around the outside done, or the extra wall put in, some of the bridges, as well as getting this detention centre and short and long-term investments done if we can. Anyway, so I'm going to speed up to max speed while we wait for a worker to travel about 47 kilometers from the storage, and you can see they're hauling that huge metal jail door all the way from there. That's some sort of super strength we've got on this worker here, and then that is going to generate. We have gone with these wall classy, the green walls, just for something a bit different there. But what we want to do now is go for, well, how are we going to do this? I want to have it so that we have on the far end here, this is where we'll have our serving table. So let's just go to planning, objects, and check the sizing. That is 18. So we could have, actually we could have 5, 5, and then 5, like that. That would be our serving tables, although there's no reason to stagger them like such. We could probably have them like that instead. We then have a wall that'll come in like that, probably a couple extra in terms of the sizing, because I want to do something like that. That's going to be a toilet, although we could do it differently and have the entrance there and have it go like that instead. That's actually different. I was going to say better, but it's not. I think it's just different. So they come in, around, and then you've got like a toilet in the basin, that sort of thing. Because I'll have a couple of toilets, and then a shower and a hand dryer. Do we lose space doing that? 5, whereas if we do that, 5. It matters not. I think I prefer that. The problem is that with that one, we can't place... We'll have to do it that way instead. Because I want the metal detectors there, you see, because this is all going to be canteen. So you want it so they can't nick stuff from here. Okay, so we'll have the walls like so. Let's build it. Let's go to walls and doors, and then to our walls, and the classy green, which will be placed in here. In terms of the flooring, I haven't yet decided. Almost certainly, we're probably just going to go with white tiles and fairly neutral, because it'll probably look okay, and it will match up, I think, with the rest of the white wall there. But we'll see how we get on. In terms of these cell blocks and other things, we're probably going to place a staff door there, or even just a standard door. The problem with that is... The reason I would want to place a door there is because we want the workers to come along, or the cooks, actually, the chefs, to bring the food into here and not have to go around that way. That does cause some issues, though, because basically this door here will be, even though it's technically a staff door, there's nothing stopping a prisoner using it. They can just request to go through, and the guards will happily try and escort them through it. The big issue is that obviously we don't have a metal detector there, so we'd have to place a metal detector on both sides, which is just too much of an issue, if I'm quite honest. Anyway, let's go over to... It looks like that tree, by the way, is not going to get removed. I think it's too far on the edge there towards that, so I think that tree is permanently going to be stuck. I'm going to stop the dismantle of it. I'm going to say dump. Let's see if it actually does that. So let's go over to our utilities and then the electrical cable. I want to run the electrical cable into this facility, probably right across here is probably the way forward, right up into here. And then we're going to do the same on this side, which will go into there. And then we'll run it right across, and then, quite frankly, directly up. There's no reason to try and work our way around it. It's just going to be too much of a problem. Large pipe will be the same sort of thing. We'll have a large pipe run across and then down. Oh, cancel that one. And then down and then in, like so. We have crossed the streams, but luckily it doesn't explode. Not that we're aware of, anyway. So, this is going to take quite some time to be built. So, we're going to go with canteen. We're going to designate all that as such. We will place in metal detectors there eventually. At this stage, not going to bother. In terms of the objects, we want to have a set of phones along this side. That's generally how we do things, just so they can talk to people on there. That's generally what phones are used for, you understand. And then we'll have the sort of bits here for them to sit and eat, and I think that is the perfect size. In fact, let's go over to the extra walls and put them in there, and then it looks even more complicated, but I think quite nice. At the back, we will have our serving tables. No, I don't know if we want to have them split up or not. Haven't yet decided, but we'll wait for them to crack on. They've got enough to enough to worry about. In terms of the flooring and the pathing, I'm deliberately not putting that in yet because I don't know exactly what size some of these other buildings will be, so we can't really put that in without knowing that. Well, I could, but it just means wasting money, doesn't it? Because if we end up building over it, it's going to cause some issues, so I'd rather do it this way. Once they've done that, do we hire some more workers, or do we just put up and shut up? I think we're going to put up and shut up, actually. In terms of the perimeter wall, I do want to put that in, but the problem with doing that is that people might start getting stuck, and that's an issue. Normally, if they go and build this, for example, they'll then just walk all the way around the outside. We currently don't have that option, so I'm not really too sure exactly what we can do. Anyway, I'm just waiting for that to be done. It looks like it has been done now. So we're going to go over to our objects. We've got bench oak there, which is the same size. I think we're going to stick with the standard tables and benches. So tables in the center, benches on the outside. We are not going to be too much of a maverick in that regard and have two tables with only one bench, and you can decide which way you face. We'll have our phone booths on the outside. You don't need them yet, but I am still going to put them in because I want to build at least one sort of model cell block which we can then sort of clone and copy. And also, we've got good amounts of money, so I'm not really too worried about that one. We will place a toilet. We'll place 1, 2, 3 toilets in either side like so. We'll then place a bathroom sink next to it. I know the ratio is not great, and then a hand dryer in there as well, so that's pretty good. Oh, we can place the hand dryer on that side if we wanted to. Hand dryer on the other side, because it does seem to go on the wall there, so that is pretty cool. So we'll remove that, we'll place it on the other side, and then we'll place 2 sinks. Yeah, that's actually okay. I quite like that. I wonder if they require power. Probably. How are we doing with utilities? Utilities is just not connected, so I'll make sure that now is connected. In terms of water, we do need to sort that out, which we will do. Do we do now or not? Probably do it. Wait until the power's in first. Then I can see exactly what the deal is. The serving tables have not yet decided where they're going to go, because it's size 15, you see. It's 18 in total, the building internal, but we have 15, so it's going to be off center regardless of what we do. We could just have it that side like there, 15, and then do we want to place this entranceway that I mentioned? The only reason to do it would have a staff-only area there and have 2 staff doors. Because what I could do is do something like that. Staff door there, staff door there. This little section is staff only, which means the prisoners would not request to go through that way because this is staff only. So unless they were rioting, they wouldn't even attempt to go through it. Whereas if it was just a staff door, you can always request to go through a staff door. It just requires a member of staff to open it. So I'm thinking, is it really necessary? Probably not, because I think by the time they've opened that door and that door, they might as well just walk around the outside. So we're not going to bother with it. We are instead going to go with probably the serving tables. Oh, there we go. We've now got some power. And the serving tables we will place... I mean, we probably only need a couple. But I think let's just place them... I'll place them all from the top and work down, just so we can have that option, as I've just mentioned there. But I know I said I'm not going to do it, but if we do decide, for change our mind, we've always got the option there, haven't we? Let's place some lighting in here, because it's a bit dark. And that should be our canteen. I currently haven't got a kitchen. Actually, that's saying it's not got a serving table. I was going to say, there we go, not got a serving table, yes. We requested it, but it hasn't yet been built. Okay, so that is now in. Excellent. We need a holding cell, we need a kitchen, and we need 2 guards and 2 cooks. So those will be very easy to get, the 2 guards and 2 cooks. The kitchen, we haven't yet fully decided the size of it, because we need to put the perimeter wall in and all of this extra section here. And the bridges, so I guess we'll go ahead and do that. So once again, going to go over to the fence here, and then we'll build right across like so, and then we'll just build all the way along the outside. I will stop at this section because I believe this is going to be internal. All of this will be internal. So this one needs to be built. That's external. This is going to be all inside, so this will be a brick wall. This will not be, so we can build like so, and then across, and then up to there, and then that. This one will also be built. This is our protective custody area, which I'll build like that, and the entrance of which we will place in it in the back there, or do I want it more in the middle? I am contemplating more in the middle, like so. However, because of how we've built some of these things here, we now don't have access from one side to the other, which is suboptimal, but we will use some of the new stuff, specifically the bridges. So we've got steel footbridge and steel footbridge B. We're going to use steel footbridge. So, to get across here, from this one little section to the other, we will just place in a steel footbridge. I think we'll place it roughly in the centre. There we go. We'll build up this side as well. And that is actually fortuitous because it is exactly, I think it is actually the shortest point, so that's been placed in there. We don't need to build it across there, or oh, we do need to place it here though. So these are steel footbridges. And there we go. $2,000 though. Expensive. And oh, that screwed the design up. We are... Oh, you're joking. Oh no, we can go there. Because of this tree, we can't build exactly the way I wanted to build. To come this way. So instead then, the entrance to this will be placed here. And that's a lot of money on bridges. We double bridged it, just because we can. So we'll have a security room, a little compound to stop people going in there. And there we are. So we'll let them crack on. We will have a redesign of that. It's a shame that that can't be built. This is all going to be internal, all of this. All going to be inside. Although I like the idea of it being outside. So maybe we do that. Yeah. That fence, that's fence. All that's fence. Oh. Up to there. Because that is internal, that section. All that is internal. Like that. Whereas that isn't. That bit is. That's getting done. Okay, so we have a way in. Oh, there we go. They're actually building the footbridge. So we have a way in to most of these areas now. The only place we don't have a way into is, ironically, the administration center and storage, so we can't access our storage anymore. Right, I should probably put in a staff door. Although we'll probably use staff gates. Fence, see that? Staff gates. So put a staff gate in there instead. Place it in there. And then probably on either side there to access these areas. Okay, that's fine. You can see there, that's strange. In order to build the bridge, they have to walk across a section of bridge that's not built. That is a new one. Well, it is a new one. It is literally a new thing. But they are walking across the plans of the bridges. I would have thought they'd have to build the first section. There you go. They're saying they can't build that. I'm guessing just because of like the build order. But you can see that they're walking across the plan, and then they're building that. But it's nice to see them walk across that and that it's all working. Excellent. Strangely, the better way to look at it is from left to right rather than the up and down, because you can just, there's a bit more detail to it, and all the bridges going that way now because of that tree. Oh well, that's a bit of a shame. There might be a way to delete it, I don't know. So we now have another grant option available because we've done our short-term investment. So we're going to go over to, I think, where is it? Inmate well-being, inmate health and well-being, which is the inmate health and well-being, build a medical centre, hire at least 2 doctors, hire a psychologist. So we will go ahead and we'll research health, we'll research psychology, we're going to research security, we're going to research pretty much everything that we need to do. Policy, micromanagement, bank loan for the finance stuff, and that is a lot of stuff that we've just ordered. And you can see that we have a lot of workers that are currently stuck on the other side of that bridge because we hadn't actually done that, but it allowed them previously to go across. I don't know what the deal is there. Is that little section? Yeah, failed 5 times. They will get that done eventually. It's just going to take them a little bit of time. We'll remove that, and the other bit should be done, and I think that is about it. Excellent. So what have we not built? Let's see what the to-do list is. Jobs, we can see that install the footbridge. It is in queue. That section there is apparently blocked, failed 7 times. It might not be, I don't know what, because it can go across this way and then into that way. What I'll do then, as a temporary measure, I'll place a standard door there and there, just to see if we prioritise those, whether they come and build those and then now have access to this side of the bridge. I mean, it might be something like that. It might be something like that. It seems to be the other side of them they can't build unless they have direct access to it. So they can't build that because they don't have direct access this way. Okay, that's quirky. Please read annoying. Plus 10 generic aggravation points. They can literally walk across a plan and then they stop there because they can't build that little section. It's not that they don't like heights either, or that they can't swim, like the old GTA games. But it's like they'll stop there and go, what? And then have to go around. So I'm going to have to put these doors in here temporarily, and then they'll build that. See, it's going to say failed 11 times, but now if we mouse over it, they are bringing these stuff there. So they can walk across the plans of the bridge, they just can't build the opposite side of it. And they are actually walking across the new bridges. So they are working, they're just iffy. And also, I think he's built himself inside the bridge. So dismantle that door. We do not need that door anymore. In fact, we don't even need this section, really. We'll dismantle that door, and then we'll finally dismantle that door. There we go. And that means that we can then place back the fencing, which I don't know if we are going to use fence, by the way. We'll have to see how we get on. The age-old problem with the fences being really ugly because you have the standard dirt underneath. And then across there. And that should be, I think, all of the doors removed where it is necessary. We're going to go over to our bureaucracy. We can see that we now have the option for deployment, which will require a chief, which we will go ahead and hire. We'll hire it's a psychiatrist, not a psychologist. Different. So, I think that is the majority of stuff placed. We've got our perimeter wall around the outside. I can't double check it because I haven't got deployment yet. But once we've got that, we can then set up some staff-only areas. Next episode, then, we will go ahead and we'll build reception probably, and then keep working on these grants. As I said, I know we're cutting these. This last episode and this one was a bit short, but it's because of the hot fixes. I'm waiting for stuff to be patched in or patched out, depending on how you look at it. Either way, to be bugs to be squished. Either way, next episode we'll go ahead and crack on, probably as I said with the reception and other things, but we'll see how we get on. As always, we have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.